Alrighty, y'all. Welcome back to the Complete Husband's Handbook podcast. My name is Daniel, and today we're going to continue on our little mini series here about the simplicities of men. Now, I've touched on this throughout the first few topics, but really, we men thrive when we have someone to build our world around. Let me say that again. We thrive when we have someone to build our world around. Now, we men will put up with a lot of crap, okay? We will, for those in our world, especially our spouse and our kids. We'll take the jeering, we'll take the loudmouth assholes, we'll take the Karens mouthing off, we'll take all that other crap. We will. Because we want our family to be happy, healthy, and successful. However, everything we do, absolutely everything, is for those in our world. Now, I'm going to read you a quote from a movie, okay? For those of you who don't know, or maybe weren't even alive at the time, there was a version of the Odyssey done by Hallmark. Yes, Hallmark makes more than just romance movies. But it was made in 1997, okay? Now, I'm not going to say the actors' names, but I'm going to say what their characters said, okay? Antaeus, who was one of the suitors of Odysseus' wife, shouts at Odysseus and says, wait, what is our crime? Now, this is right before he beats the shit out of everybody. We treated your wife as a queen. We lived off your land, but that can be replaced. We didn't kill anybody. Now, a little preface to this. Odysseus has been gone for, 18, 19 years, coming back from the war in Troy. If you've read the Odyssey, it's a really, really long saga, but it's a good one if it's written right. But here's the response that Odysseus gives to all of the suitors who've been living in his house, eating his food, and having sex with his maids. Okay? Your crime is that you tried to steal my world. The world I built with my hands, and my sweat, and my blood. The world I shared with a woman who bore my son. And no one will ever take that from me. Now, you will die to a man in a river of blood. Now, where that's a bit graphic and it's not in the original story, I love the idea that in the movie version, Odysseus was driven by this concept of his world. Yes, he's just a man. Yes, there are certain gods that, aid him and then don't aid him. But there are this idea that he's trying to get home to his wife. He's trying to get home to his son. He's trying to get home to his world. His world. A world he created with his hands. He created with his sweat and his hard work. He created with his wife. They have a son together. That's his world. Yes, he fought in the war. Yes, he was there. But his world, that's what he was trying to get home to. And he had various adventures, I'll put it that way, to where he was the only one left who got to come home. The only one left. Everyone else died. Everybody. But that's what I want to talk about today. Okay? We men need a world that is ours. We're natural born creators. We're innovators. We're engineers. We want that world. That's why there's that famous saying, every man's home is his castle. Because he wants that for not only for himself, for his spouse, for their kids and their future offspring. Okay? We men need that to reach the pinnacle of our success. Okay? We need something to sacrifice for. We do. We need to know that the cause we're fighting for, love, marriage, whatever you want to call it, is a worthy cause. We go home at the end of the day, our spouse is there with a hug and a kiss. You know, if you've got kids, the kids are there. I remember my father would come home from work Saturday mornings, and this was when I was a little kid, okay? I would get my cereal, sit on the wooden floor, turn on the television, watch cartoons, and Dad would come home from work after working all night at the fire station. He would come home, lay on the couch, and I knew he would fall asleep. Everyone knew he would fall asleep. But that was his way of showing us, hey, I want to spend time with you. I do. But I'm tired. So he was there. We knew we were important. We knew he wanted us there. We knew he wanted to be there. We were part of his world. And where it was a work in progress for us and him as kids, he still has that to this day. And it's a quality that I hope I'll be able to convey when my wife and I start having kids. Okay? We need a world to fight for. Everyone talks about the cause, the ideals, whether you're Democrat or Republican, conservative, liberal, independent, politically homeless like myself, everyone needs a cause to fight for. And there's no greater cause in this world than love. There's no purer form of love than marriage, if it's done correctly. Not out of obligation, but because you choose each other each day. Say, hey, this is what I want out of life. I promise you, there's no institution that will make you a better person and give you the most happiness than marriage. There's no worse institution, if it's done incorrectly, that will drive you up the wall crazy. So get married for the right reasons, please. But that's what we men fight for. We fight for our world. We'll do the overtime. We'll take the yelling and the cussing and the screaming and the hollering. We'll, go through hell. Our own kinds of hell. For the person we love the most. And that should be our spouse. Now, whether, you're gay or straight, I don't really care which, or bisexual, I don't really care. But if you're a husband, you need to understand what you're fighting for. And by doing so, you need to understand who your spouse is. Your spouse is your cause. Your spouse is your world. And together, you two will build a world. Whether it's a world made out of, hardship and joy, and in the end, it's very beautiful, or it'll be a living hell for the both of you. But you two have built it. No one else made you build it. You built it. So think about that, y'all. Think about, what are you willing to sacrifice for? What are you willing to fight for? What is your cause? And who are you wanting to build a world with? If you can't answer that question, if you can't answer those 4 questions, you should probably start reevaluating everything you've done in life. If your spouse is not who you're willing to sacrifice for, who you're willing to fight for, if your spouse is not your cause in your world, then you might need to start, having some self-reflection. I'm just saying. So I'm going to leave this here. And I really want y'all to think about that, all right? My name is Daniel. I'm going to see y'all in the next one.